So, okay, now you should be hearing sound. Sound output seems a bit high. Doesn't go into the yellow, so, oh yeah, it does a little bit. Okay, I hope the sound is okay now. Why always? Why always issues? Aha! Hey Grill, how are you doing? Sound is okay. Okay, that's good. I've had some issues. I had to unplug and plug the microphone back so it gets detected, but I guess that's fine. All right. Okay. I'm gonna close that. Or should I? I don't know. Okay, I hope the encoding is going to be fine because I tried to stop the consuming task that was running on my computer right now, but I think it should be back to normal, hopefully. All right, so let me check that setup again. Yes, okay, that's the camera goes there. Okay, so I can actually see things. Hopefully that didn't make too loud a sound. Okay, screen is on. I have some tea. Microphone works. Picture seems to work. I'd say we're pretty good. All right, here it is. Hello, everyone. Let us start now. So, who's here? Some people are here. Some people I recognize. Some people I do not. But hello to everyone nonetheless. I hope you're doing fine. And we are going to be talking about Fedora infrastructure applications again this time. All right, let me share the screen so you can have something to look at. That's extremely loud. Okay, that's why. All right, sound should be back to normal now. In theory, hopefully. Okay. Yeah. So what do we have? There's been quite some work done by people from the outreachy internship community, and that's really good. Really good stuff there. So I'm happy about that. So let's look at what we have in the Fedora Infra group. So this has been assigned already. That's good. This one is assigned. Let's have a look at what we have. Sound cracks a bit. Okay, I suppose it's too high. Thanks for the notice. All right, yeah, hopefully that's better. All right, and if not, that might be my computer being overwhelmed by a CPU consuming task, but I thought I stopped it. So yeah, hopefully we'll be okay now. Okay, so what do we have? I see quite a few of our easy fixes that have been assigned to people. Let's check out where things are at. So I'll page list all the topics. There was somebody assigned to that. Don't think that's a volume issue. Okay. So, okay, let me check the rest. What could it be? It could be my CPU being totally, yeah, that's very likely actually. So load average is at 7, that's bad. Who's doing that? Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, I know what it is. Um, I think I know what it is. I'd rather not shut down that process, but if it makes the sound cracky, well, I think I'll just stop it and start. I'm sure you know what it is, Diego. No, let's just talk about it right now, so I'm not going to do that. And remove the screen and shut down that process. Goodbye. Okay, stop that process as well and free some CPU time. All right, things are getting better. Okay. Things should get better from now on. Hopefully this process will stop as I asked it to. If not, I'll have to kill it. Sound is better. Okay, yeah, I think I found why. That's okay. All right, what do we have? Let me get back to the screen. There it is. Okay, so this ticket is assigned to PCNE, and in more details on the issue. Okay, we're going to create the endpoints. Which folder are we specifically going to work? Okay, I'm going to help him a little bit around this issue now. So someone was assigned to this ticket in Fedbadges, and another person was assigned to the user documentation. Okay, so that send the PR, no PR yet. That's fine. Okay, this is working. That's good. This one has no pull request as well. That's okay. Well, not linked to the issue. I mean, there might be one in the pull request, in this pull request, but it's not linked to the issue. But I mean, it's a common mistake, so that's entirely possible. No. Okay. Oh, still being worked on. That's all right. Fed image that's deprecated. Message meta, blah, 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 blah. That's going away. This one has been. This one I replied to that person this morning, so I'm looking at it. This is assigned as well. Let me check that there's no pull request that might have missed my attention, which is entirely possible. On it, some models were on how do I resolve the errors. Okay. Blah blah. Oh, yeah, I need to be in the front end directory. Sorry, I'm going to do that. That work goes you're not in the right directory, and so there is no package that doesn't fire in the main directory because it's not made JavaScript application. It's a Python application that has a JavaScript frontend. Okay. So what else do we have? Yeah, if I remember correctly, I did a little bit of work on badges. When was that? Last week, and I have been working on that this morning, so I might as well get back to that if that's that interests you. I have made quite a bit of progress. Also, this convert to this mailman 3 for messaging has been converted to Fedora Messaging. I just need to make an RPM out of it, but it's on by API, etc., etc. So that's done. Now with Fedora, okay, that's basically a typo. Sorry, I don't need to care about that too much. Modes, there's been people assigned to it, that's good. Oh, this one is assigned to quite a few people. Your exporter, yeah, that's, and anyway, out of the list of Fedora Infra applications. Okay, we have other things that might not be on GitHub. Sure, there's by your list. Other. Oh, interesting. A push to a fork is considered as affecting the main package. Yeah, that's a mistake. That's a mistake, all right. Open by. Oh yeah, it's open by myself. Okay, well. Yeah. That's something that we could work on if you're interested in message schemas. It's going to be on Pagyo's message schemas. Yeah, we need to go over all our issues and triage them so we know which one are easy fixes and which one are not, because I'm sure that there are quite a few out there that could be done as easy fixes and that are not flagged as such. Anyway, let me show you what I was working on in the badges. So it'll be a follow-up to yeah, it's going to be a follow-up to the what's that? No, not that. I'm going to be a follow-up to what we were doing last week. So, badges. The badges system has two components. One is the web UI, where you see your badges, where you can see readables and who has earned the badge recently and all that sort of stuff. That's web UI. And there's a backend component called Fedbadges. And this backend component listens to every message on the bus, applies rules that basically are the rule to award the badge. They apply that to the message coming in, and it awards the badges using the database, the same database as what the web UI uses, of course. Simple. So I'm converting that to Fedora Messaging, and I have done a little bit of work last week about it. And now I have reached a point where I'm deploying it in staging. I have been working on that this morning. It's running in OpenShift right now. Let's see if I can show you the web UI for OpenShift. That's going to be cool. I think it's console OpenShift. Yeah, that's the one. Let me show you what I have. Okay, that's the staging. Staging one the password, that's fine. Okay. Wait, what? Okay, let me get back to the last page. No, not this one, this one. Try again, please. Let's read that page. Okay, it is loading. That's good, thank you. Okay. Fine, I'll run that again. That's weird, but I'll do it. Alright, we're getting there, hopefully. Oops. Where am I? Where's my arrow? Yeah, I'm going to place. Okay. Let's look at badges. All right. So this is the OpenShift UI. It's pretty complete. That's really cool. So in badges, you will find two main containers. That's the two deployment configs that we have here. Hey, even though I don't understand what you, I trust what you know what you're doing. Thanks, I guess. I don't always know what I'm doing, so it's not really, it's a bit risky. But thanks, I suppose. All right, right now I have focused on the backend component, which is the one that listens to messages from the bus and awards badges. You will see, if I manage to show that to you properly, in workloads maybe? Yeah, deployment configs. Okay, I have two deployment configs. I have two, let's say I have two containers running in OpenShift at the moment. Well, I want to be running in OpenShift. One will be the front end, that's the one I told you about. The application is called Tarrier, like the city place in Egypt where the spring uprising started a few years ago, quite a few years ago. Well, I suppose 10 years ago. Well, not really, no, I'm exaggerating, not 10 years ago, but I guess that's when the software was crafted. Maybe that was 10 years ago. Anyway, and the consumer, which is Fedbadges, the one that I told you about, and that's the one that I'm focusing on right now, because that's going to be the more complex one. The web UI is going to be simpler. Okay, so the consumer here, it's currently a pod, so it's running. It is built from Fedbadges. Let me show you what I built it with. Where's my... it's not in operators. It's probably... Do I have build configs in there? Builds? Yes, build configs. That's perfect. So there's Tarrier being built in Fedbadges. Fedbadges comes from this repo on GitHub. And I'm using the Fedora Messaging branch, which is the one that I'm working on at the moment. It's building on Python 3.10 for various reasons. The main one being that it needs to access the data number database, and that's so that it needs the data number models package, and that's only Python 3.10 and up. So Python 3.10. Okay, so I'm deploying that to the consumer pod. Where do you see that? Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's here. That's the internal registry where I push my build. I have configuration. I'm hooking it up to IPA and getting a key tab because I need to access FastJSON, and that requires a key tab. And here are the data that we need to connect to the messaging bus. All right, it's running. I can probably see the logs if I'm lucky. It's currently running, but it's not doing a lot. It's not doing a lot at the moment because it doesn't. I haven't plugged in all the rules that we have, right? So right now it's consuming messages, but it doesn't do anything with them. Okay, so what I was working on this morning was to port the scripts that we currently have in Ansible to the Fedbadges repo. We have 5 or 6 scripts, I think, in the repo in Ansible that are deployed to the machine, and they run on cron in a cron job to award people badges, depending on things that have happened in the past, such as I don't know, like they have an avatar on the avatar, or they they have contributed to Badges, the software, so that's there's that. You could get a badge for that. They have been around for years and years and years. There's a sequence of badges you can get for your longevity, I suppose, in Fedora. And yeah, so they're all cron jobs, and I'm porting them to the new system because we can't really run a script as a cron. Well, we can deploy a cron job inside a container like this. It has to be either mounted or built as part of the software. So I'm porting it to Fedbadges, and I think that's the right place because it means that we will have the possibility to we'll have a lot of quality control on them that we can't have right now since they are just in Ansible. So those scripts are I've put them in manual here because it's not really manual, it's automatic because it's run by cron. But as far as Fedbadges is concerned, you run a script that gives you a badge. So it's kind of manual. You have to run the script. This run is automated later on by the infrastructure, but that's not Fedbadges' problem, I'd say. All right, so here I'm editing the script that awards a badge to people who contribute a mirror to Fedora. So there's an URL that you make a request to, and you get the admins from there, and you get the badge that you want to award, and you go through this list of usernames, and you award them the badge. Basically, that's all there is to it. So this one is done. I just want to give it a proper name because that's the name of the script. It's not the name of a Python module. So mirror is the name. And now I'm going to add it to my scripts. And the script names are award-something. So here it's going to be award mirror. There it is. We'll have one more script. Okay, what else do we have? As always, if you have questions on what I'm doing, feel free to interrupt me at any time. That's why we have a stream and not just a video, So interactivity is valued. So yeah, feel free to. I'm happy to stop and explain what I'm doing. It's not a problem, really. Okay, so we have two more here. The old school badges and the paparazzi badge, flat paparazzi. I'm going to start with the old school badges. So here it's in the old script. It's basically Python 2 format, more or less. So it's been converted by 2 to 3, but it's not great. Having them in separate scripts prevents us from being able to share the code. So there's a lot of copy and paste in those scripts. It's really not great, but that's what we have right now. So I'm going to copy some of the boilerplate that I had before. I'll find a way to make that not repeat ourselves as much if possible, but for now, that's it. Okay, I need to import click, of course. I do not need all that crap. Okay. Yeah, let's import click and see. We'll see for the rest. Okay. Right. So what is it doing? Basically, it's calling main after instantiating the tar database. I can just call main. That's main. Okay. So I'm just going to take that and move it down. As much as I can. Okay. 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 Yeah, all the Fed message stuff can go away. Good riddance. this, we can use a logger, thanks. But we're definitely going to create that after importing things, because yeah, that's how we do stuff. Get HTTP client, that's a way to get the, yeah, that's a way to get a fast JSON client. So we have done that before. It was, where was it? Where was it? In Badges Dev, I think. Yes. That's how you instantiate it. Where are we? Old school badge? Yes. Okay. So I need to import fast JSON client, obviously. There's an S missing. Okay. So what do we do with all that? Yes, I need to import that as well. Lots of imports. Okay. 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 All right. So what do we have now? This code is commented as screen. I really need to print that. Okay, that's the mapping of fast group to badge ID. That's definitely something that should be a constant. Okay, so I'm going to move that to a constant. Call it badges, or should I say like so group badges, because it's basically the link from a group to a badge name, right? Okay, there we have it. So we don't really need to validate that. We'll do that as we go, I suppose. Or should we? All right. So yeah, we don't need to do that because we don't need this value here. So we'll just do badge ID in mapping.values. That's how we do it. And it's not called mapping anymore. It's called group badges. So we're iterating over the values of this dictionary, getting the badge, looking for it, and then we raise value error. Well, it's not really value error. It should be like click exception, because we want to stop the program if that happens. And of course, using % is totally deprecated, so we'll do a badge ID. Badge ID is not a valid badge ID. That's good. And yeah, let's preserve the %s that we had before, and so we convert it to raw, which means, well, to not raw, but how's it called? Representation, RPR. Okay. Okay, then we do a long query against fast for our candidates, I suppose. So fast credentials, we don't need fast credentials. We certainly don't, because we are using Kerberos these days. So get fast groupings, what is this? What does get fast grouping do? Where does this come from? Yeah, we don't need the fast credentials anymore, thank you. What we could use is the fast client, but that's fine. I don't really like to call something results, but that's not really clear, but I should call it fast groupings, you know. And all this mapping thing, yeah, that's not great because that's a constant. So we don't need to pass it as a parameter here. And here we can replace that by group badges. Thank you. All right. I mean, all this mapping is really in the code. That's not great. It should definitely be a configuration value. You know? I'm tempted to make that change, but not now. Okay, we're checking that. Okay, get the groups, fine. So I get fast group and members. That's the thing? Is that the thing what I'm getting? Yeah, that's an import, my dear. That goes up there. Yeah, I totally agree. If it's a configure, yeah, and the thing is, that's definitely likely to change over time, because what this script does is basically award a badge for someone who is in a group with this list, this mapping. That's definitely something that should be in a configuration file. So first thing I'll do is I'll make this work with the current organization of the code, but then I'll change it. Because that means, like, otherwise, whenever we want to add a new badge to this or a new group, we'll have to make the change to the code and commit it and wait for it to reach stable and then, you know, make a release just for that. And there might be other things. Well, it's going to be a mess. That's definitely the configuration values. It should be there. Hit them up is, yeah. Just making sure, I think I have factored that out. Right. Okay, hit them up is basically a cut and paste of some method that I have already factored out. Okay. Log was already up there. Yes, it was. Okay. Okay, so what I'm doing with this is, what's lookup? We don't need that anymore. Okay, just get that. Okay. So it's not get HTTP client. I'm going to pass the configuration here. And I'm going to, or I should just pass the Fedbadges client, I think. I don't need that anymore. This is clearing up. So it's not called lookup, it's called group badges. Thank you. Oh, if that ends up being a configuration file, then I might have to change that later. But that's fine. Okay, group name and badge ID. Okay, this is the main. Why is it not used? That's weird. Oh, maybe I just want to get the group. I just want the group names. Okay, if I'm not using this value, then I don't need items. I just need keys. And if I'm going to do a keys here, I might as well just loop on the dictionary itself because that's the exact same thing. Okay. T is pretty good. Happy about it. Okay, so this is the main check. Yeah, we're not doing that. No. That's not how it works with Fedbadges client. Okay. But how does it work? That's a good question. So Fedbadges client is very powerful, but also very poorly documented. And I'm very sorry about that. It's been in our task list for very long, and it hasn't been done. So that's really a pain. So I'm going to try to remember how it's supposed to be done. If I remember correctly, import Fedbadges client. I'm going to make the client because I just did that above. Okay. Okay, and now I'm making, so what are the values? So the client is an automatic mapping between the API as described by the specification, the Python code basically. So I'm going to. So what I'm doing right now, I want to get a group, right? I want to list the members of a group and the sponsors of a group, right? So I want to make that call list group members c dot list group members, and I'm going to pass it the name of a group. So looking at our groups, let's take one of the first ones. So advocates maybe. Oh, yeah, that doesn't work. Group name is a required parameter. Okay. Then what? Group name equal advocates. That seems better. Okay, so group name is equal advocates, right? And I'm getting the members with this. That's the result here. I'm getting quite a few. Okay, so that's the call that I'm supposed to make. Dot list group members. So here I'm being a little bit smarter, and I'm sorry, where's I'm using the membership types list. So let's say I do it without this loop first. I'm going to do a fast JSON that list group members with group name equal group name, the one I'm iterating on, and I'm going to loop on that for like user in this. Okay. Username equal user. That's still true, and I can still copy that. Okay, that should work. Now let me check how I should do it for sponsors. I suppose that sponsors are these group sponsors. Okay, that's simple. Very convenient. Let me check what I can do with sponsors here. Yeah, that works. Okay, good. So let's look over the membership types. Good. Method is get attribute of first JSON named list group membership type, right? That's my method. List group members or list group sponsors. That's my method that I'm going to call. And now I can do a for user in method group name equal group name result, and we're good. Yeah, I don't need that check. I don't need that. I need this. Okay. Huh. What is this? Right. Okay, got it. Okay, so I have this fake group in there called sponsors. It's as if it was a fast group, except it's not a fast group. Um, right. Okay. So I have this fake group here in the mapping called sponsors, which corresponds to sponsors of the packager group. I'm going to do it differently. If group name is packager and we're sponsors, then I'm adding the username to and if my group name is ambassadors and I think it's clear this way because yeah, but that's really subjective. Okay, so now I have the results. It seems fine. It seems to be correct. Let's move this function a little bit down the file because right now it's above some constants and doesn't really make a lot of sense. No, still keep it above the main. Okay, so there's that. Right, because sponsor isn't a real group, it's yeah. Okay. Fine. Get fast groupings, but I have to pass it the fast JSON client now. Okay. Now I'm iterating over group and members. And I'm just printing things? Huh. I should do it really here, right? Real. Very real. So that's a logged in log.info, I suppose. I'm processing fast group, and I can add the information that I have above here. Okay, and now I don't call that eat them up, I call that award badges. Award badge. First argument is Tarrier, the Tarrier API instance, the badge, and not the members, but yeah, for member in members, award it to the member. Okay, got it. All right, what do you think of that? Should do it. I don't know what this D thing is. Can delete it. Okay, this is probably going to fail at some point because in this list there are groups that don't exist, right? So when I'm going to get the members, it's going to fail in some way. In which way can I expect it to fail? Let's say I want to get a group that doesn't exist. I get an API error. What can I know about this? API error is just a browser error. Message, code, data. Okay, that's gonna have. Yeah, I can just grab the API error. That should be sufficient. There's a lot of oops. Of course, this was the static thing. I can remove it. Okay. Okay. All right, that makes sense. If I can't find the group, I continue because that might be an existing group, just like sponsors or what's the other one? Ambassador sponsors, I think. So it's all good. Okay. I should do it differently actually. Should do it differently. Because those two specific groups, sponsors and ambassador sponsors, if I want to have something else like this, I will have to change the code. My point was to have that in the configuration so that I do not have to change the code anymore. Okay, I'm going to do it differently. Yeah, I would agree. I'm going to go there anyway. It's just I want to prepare the code for so that it works in a configuration and doesn't. It makes it easy to move that to a configuration file. I want to make that possible. I'm not trying to avoid it. I'm just trying to make the thing work as it currently does. I think that's where we are right now. So let me turn that into a configuration, right? So I have configuration in Fedbadges already, and that is this configuration file. Here I have a YAML file, that's the Fedora Messaging configuration file. So I could totally add something in there. That would be my group mapping. this is my group badges. Let me turn that into group badges. Boom! That group badges, of course, it's going to be consumer config.group badges. Of course, the formatting is wrong, as you can see. And I'm going to do use the column cursor to remove that. There's no dot in there, right? It's just, yeah, so we don't need those. We definitely don't need that at the end. Yeah, that's not awesome. I'm going to do a search and replace in there. Search for this and replace it with right, and that should be sufficient. Okay, so we have a group name here and we have the badge name that we want to award. Thing is, there are two differences here. Here, yeah. Yeah. In Toml, can we have multiple keys? I do not think so. We can't have different keys, multiple keys. Yeah. Okay. That's going to be a little bit more boilerplate, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, group badges is not going to be a ticket, it's going to be a list. Okay. Group, I'm going to do things very differently this time. Well, formatting is going to be very different. It's going to be group equal and over this I want to have a replacement of oh yeah, there was a mistake. The group right now. Okay. Let me try to be smart with a search and replace. Let's see if that works. So I'm going to have group equal. So that's gonna have to end with this. And I'm going to have to replace that with a new line. Can I do this? I don't think I can do this. Okay. Let's see if that works. If that helps me. I am missing the power of regular expressions, of course. Oopsie, sorry, not that one. Okay, so I have, now I can add my group prefix. So I'll have group video, badge is, that's the name of the badge now. So that's going to turn the entire list into, it's going to turn the entire thing into a list of dictionaries. Hopefully I will not have to repeat myself too many times. I don't mind repeating myself, but not to a computer. Yeah, let's just bite the bullet and do the thing. And the reason why I'm doing this is that it means I can have multiple times the same group name, and so I can award different badges depending on different memberships. So I can award a badge for being a sponsor, for being in the packager group, and award for being a sponsor in the packager group. A badge for being a sponsor. Oh, done already? Huh. How time flies. Okay, so we have this now. We have this list. And ambassadors. Here, I'm going to handle that differently. Membership equals sponsor. So if I'm a sponsor of the ambassador group, then I get this badge. Same goes for packager. Where are you, packager? But there's nothing for being a packager? No way. Maybe there's not. You get a badge for being in a lot of groups, but not for being a packager, I suppose. I guess that's a badge that would award to everyone. Well, not everyone, of course. There's a lot of stuff to do apart from packaging in Fedora. Okay, so what my code becomes is now I can get rid of all that. Now, what I can do so let's get my group badges from the configuration. Group config.group badges, right? And now I want to check the badge IDs. Okay, for badge, so it's GB, I guess, for GB in, because that's a list now, right? So I want to get the badge key from every item in this, every dictionary in this list. Okay, now what I'm doing is yeah. Well, that's not great. That's not great. I want to have the bad ID here. I want fast groupings to return me badge ID. So I get the badge ID from here, and I can award it to the members. Okay, which means that this fast groupings method function is going to change. Okay, I can make it a generator, by the way. I don't have to have this result list right here. So, membership types. Okay, so for, that's going to be different. For group badge in group badges, the name of the group name is group badges, group badge of group. That's how I call it, right? Yes. The badge ID is group badge of badge. That's how I name it. Yes. And there's membership. Oh, it can be in memberships actually. Let's have that be a list, right? That should be better. So we can have a default to member and sponsor. Memberships is group badge. So get sorry, and default to membership types, just for coherence with the rest. It's members and sponsors. Good. So now I can iterate. For membership type, blah, 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 blah. Okay. That doesn't change anything from members. So now I can yield. So I'm using two things, the badge ID, and the username. And I don't have this main check here anymore. No specific handling. So everything is in configuration now. Yeah, that sounds much better. So in my configuration, I can add groups if I want to. Give them a badge name. Where is it? It's here. I can add groups if I add group and badges, like link between group and badges. And I can specify that a group is given this badge as long as the sponsor. That sounds good. Okay. Okay, that's much better. I hope you're happy to go. But you're totally right. It should have been the configuration all along, but that's okay. So let's check. Does it still make sense? Get fast groupings. The name of the function, I mean. Should get members more or less. I think naming things is very important. So I'm going to name it properly. Naming things, naming variable is a very essential part of documenting your code, because that's the only one that is always correct. Not always correct, but always up to date. Sometimes when you change your code and you don't update your document, documentation, it becomes obsolete and misleading. And that's worse than not having documentation. But with variable names and function names, that's always, it can't get out of date, so you have to make sure that you're getting them right. If that means typing a few more letters, that's fine. Okay, and this log here, I am going to keep it. I think I made a mistake. Why is that not defined anymore? Oh, okay. Okay. I deleted the line and I still... Well, that's groupings. Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Oh, no. Forgot this one. Okay. Is that... It's not... No, I'm not doing this. I'm not... That's how it is, and it doesn't have to be... Or am I remember? Yeah, okay. I'm returning badge ID and username flat, right? I don't need to have a second loop. So it's gonna be... That's a little unnecessary, I should say. Okay. 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 Sorry about that. Results. That sort of made sense in some way. Except it's not group name that I'm iterating on, it's badge ID. Okay. All right. Let's get back to it. We'll get there. Okay, those are my awards. I want to print something. I should do it here because that is where I am looking at groups. I'll probably log debug. It's a tedious process because I want to get my things coherent and right, and I'm thinking about future me who is going to look at this code in 5 years and not remember any of the things that I'm doing today. And I want this to be clear to someone who comes in and looks at this. And future me might be somebody else actually, who has absolutely no idea what I do. And so I want this to be coherent, to have the right names so that they describe, the variable name described what's in there. So yeah, I'm taking quite a bit of time making sure of that. But that's me being a little strict about this. It could have been done like 1 hour ago already, Processing group name. Okay. Okay, so I have this log. Okay, I think it's working now. And I have everything else in the configuration. I can drop all this. Doesn't make any sense at all. Okay. Do we have an HTTP terminal? Are we even using that? We're not. Gone. That's gone. Okay. I'm gonna add a comment to the configuration file because that's a good thing to do. Okay, I'm gonna rename that script because it's old school badges. That's weird. It's just it doesn't describe what it is. I'm gonna rename that. So membership. So it's basically a membership badge. Which could be group membership, by the way. That's even clearer. Okay, and now I'm gonna add it to my project.tml. Award group membership. Accept the module name as an underscore. Okay, we're done with this one. Okay, and there's just one left. And this one is about, what is this about? Oh. Okay, it's making a call to Flickr. I mean, really? That was when people were taking photos at Flock and posting them on Flickr. Okay. I think we can entirely drop this one. I mean, does Flickr still exist? Hasn't been bought over many times. Right. Let's drop this one entirely. We'll think about it another time, but right now that doesn't really make any sense. Okay, so we have a few scripts now that can award badges. Let us deploy them in OpenShift. For that, I am going to change to, I'm going to create the cron jobs in OpenShift. Okay, wait, just a minute. That's definitely not the right terminal because that's too small. That should be much better. Okay. Okay, so in OpenShift, I have a role for badges. It's right here. Oh yeah. I should show you that through the web UI. I'm going to reuse what I did for Mirror Manager because I think it's pretty relevant. Can't read anything. Terminal too small. Cron.yaml. Okay, what do I have in this cron? So I have a cron job named award something, right? They're all awarding us something. That's done. So not our school badges. That doesn't make sense. But group membership, right? LibreAvatar is just LibreAvatar now. Oops. We know we're awarding a badge. We're not awarding something else. This one is gone. Mirror. Life cycle. And badges dev. Okay, so award cronjob.name. I'll just name it this way. The schedule, that's it. Name of the container is going to be, well, I should start it from Fedbadges actually, but that's fine. Here, Fedbadges. I'm taking the image from the internal registry for the badges project and the Fedbadges component. The script is going to be award dash cronjob name, because that's how I named my scripts. Yay for coherence. Oh, that's not here, that is here. And they do not have arguments at all. So I should actually just put it here. Do it this way. Command is this. Environment, that doesn't really matter. I'm going to drop that. Volume mounts. So I'm going to map that to my other, my deployment config, because that's basically, oh, cron, it shouldn't be here. It should be in the templates directory. Okay, now I'm going to compare it to my deployment config because I want basically the same mounts. So I want etc badges definitely. I want to be able to do Kerberos. Do I want to be able to communicate with Fedora Messaging server? I don't think any of them want to send a message. So I'm going to reuse those. And of course, the volumes. Right. So that should create all the cron jobs that I have in my configuration. Right. And have them run at the time that I specified. Pretty cool. Okay, let's do playbooks, OpenShift apps, badges. Let's just take an example of how to do cron jobs. Right, I've put that after the deployment config, but I should really put that before, really. It doesn't really matter, actually. Well, cron jobs are, let's put that afterwards. Okay, so I have, it's called cron. I'm just gonna call it cron award, right? Because it's the cron jobs for awarding badges. Okay, I should be able to deploy that now. Well, I need to commit it, of course. Oh yeah, and I want to read this configuration file. And by the way, that means that I need to remove all the stuff that I've put there. Apps, badges. I've put a lot of mirror manager stuff in there that is not really useful anymore. Except maybe the DB hosts, right? Because I think it's different in production and staging, like wildly different. So and okay, so if I put that here, I need to make sure that the configuration is correct in the role. That's in FM Fedbadges. Sorry. DB, where's my database name? DB 01. Yeah. Okay, so it's DB01. Database is named career. That's fine. I can. Yeah, you have to be very coherent when you're touching infrastructure stuff. Database is, okay, that's it. Okay, that's my database name, db01 on suffix. That's good. So that's going to be here, badges, db hosts. Okay, and the database name is Tire. Good. I think we're good. This is all pretty coherent and easy to change. Oh yes, of course, I totally forgot to add all the new stuff that I've added to the example configuration file. So okay. Boom. Okay. So now this is all written. What I just need to do is commit the changes in the code. So that's here. What did I change? Definitely my example file. Did I change that? Yeah, that makes sense. The log file as well. Did I change the consumer? Yeah, well, that's just, formatting and random stuff. Well, it's linting basically. I'll keep that for later. I don't want to mix it up. And that's new files, right? That's my new. Yes, those are my new scripts. Good. Mirror, lifecycle, liberator, group membership, badges dev, the init file. Okay, that's good. Blah, 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 blah. Very well. Put the manual badges awarding scripts. Good. Done. Now I'm going to push that to the repo. Oh yeah, there's still the changes in consumer, but something. It's basically linting. No S, thank you very much. I'm going to push all that to the repo. So I had a few remove, run black, okay, make a private config, okay, remove, okay, port, but okay. I'm going to push that. And I will also push the changes to the infrastructure. So there's a new file. And there's another new file. All the cron jobs. Push it. Oh yeah, of course, I'm pretty sure somebody else will have committed something to the repo before I do that. Yeah. So rebase. And push again. Right. So this has been pushed. This has been pushed. I need to redeploy. I'm going to do that. I'm going to rebuild. So it's a start build Fedbadges. And redeploy. Deploy the changes in what's changed in Ansible. And here I should be able to see the build running, right? Yeah, one of them is running right here. And if I look at my home, my project badges, it should be able to tell me there's one part that is fading, but that's fine. It should be able to tell me that something is running, doesn't it? That's a bit too bad. Visualization, details maybe? Nah. Started container. Ongoing recent events. Okay. So let's look at my build. One of them is running. That's Fedbadges 6. Let's look at the logs. It is still downloading stuff. Now let's wait for it to finish properly. And my deployment of the cron jobs has succeeded. So that is good. Okay. Okay, so there's one thing left to do, and there's not one thing left to do, there's a lot of things left to do. The next thing left to do that I could do now is bring the rules repository somewhere that we could use. So how does it work currently? Let's look at Ansible. So at the moment, with the current system, there's a repo with all the badges declared as YAML files, right? It's cloned into SRV badges checkout. Then there's a script, update checkout, that is put in cron. Let's look at this script. It's basically doing a git pull rsync from... Right, it makes an rsync of the files into user share badges rules. That doesn't seem fantastic, but I suppose that's fine. And oh, I see. If there's any changes, it restarts the... Okay, I get that. Okay, so if there's any changes, it will restart the consumer. Okay, how should we do that? Because that's interesting, actually. That's actually interesting. So my list of rules is in a repo. Is in files, right? In my consumer, what does my consumer look like? My consumer does a load badges from YAML on startup. That's what it does. I could have a periodic task that would reload that. What does this load badges from YAML command do? Client is getter client, that's the database. It crawls the directory. Badges rule setup creates a rule. Right, it runs setup and it happens to badge rule. What's badge rule? No badges. It happens to the badges list of rules. Okay. What does this do? Okay. What happened? What would happen if I loaded that every, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe? I could have some storage in OpenShift where I would have the repository extraction. I could store in my memory the last time I loaded the rules. Then I would have a cron job that updates that directory periodically. And my consumer would be looking at the repo, comparing the time of the last commit to the time that I last loaded the rules. And if that's more recent, reload the rules. Yeah, that seems decent, right? I don't want to do that on every incoming message. But I don't need to. I'm going to do that on a periodic basis. I can totally have a periodic job run when I create my consumer. I know FMN already does that, so that's entirely possible. Yeah, that seems fair. Okay, so my plan is to have the consumer check the time of the last commit. Do I have this in an easy to get fashion? For example, do I have it in like say Git? What do I have in Git? Would it be, because I can have this like this last commit like git log -1 pretty t4 so I have this in git log, but I want to have this just the date. I think there's some way you can do that in pretty equal format. There's a format thing. Yes. Author date, so %AD. I could have that as a unique timestamp. %AI, that's much better. Oh yeah. Right, and I can pass that in Python easily. But that means shutting out something. I'd rather, even though that would be a certain periodic task, which is fine, because if I do that every 10 minutes, for example, I can totally run a command every 10 minutes. That's totally fine. Okay. That's going to be my plan then. So I need to add some storage. I know that Mirror Manager has a lot of it, so I'm going to copy again from it. It doesn't have to be big. Although, do I know how big it is? Because yeah, before I say that, let's have a look at this. Fedora badges. Yes. Okay, right, it's 1.6 gigabytes. Yeah, I was kind of expecting it because there's like what's STL? Yeah, there's the graphics in there as well. Okay, so we have. Can I clone a repo and exclude one of the subdirectories? That would be interesting. Because I just want the rules. I don't want anything else. Exclude. Create a shallow one with a history, excluding commits. Nope. Tree. Can I remove something from the tree? Yeah, probably not. You know what? What I'm going to do then, because I want to be able to pay easily. Would like to save some gigabytes on the servers. Okay, let's start with 5 gigs. I think 5 gigs should be plenty for anybody. Famous last words. Okay, now my storage, put that somewhere please. My storage, thank you. And now I want to mount it. Deployment config. Let me look at how it's done in Mirror Manager. Storage. Oh no, it's called logs, I think. Yeah, so there's, okay, it's trivial actually. So I have a value mount, which is, that was a little bit too much, called rules, and it's going to be mounted in val lib badges rules. I think that's what I've put in the configuration file. Right, and now I have the same thing in the volumes, which speaks volumes. Right here, rules. Oh, rules. Okay, I think we're good. What did I put in the configuration? Fedbadges. What's my rules directory? Valid badges rules. That's exactly what I did. What I thought. Okay, so now I have this mount. Oh, sorry. I need to put that. I need to. I need to have my cron jobs mounted as well. Where is it? Sorry. What mistake did I do? Right. Volume there's many. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I've put it in consumer. That's good because I could have put it in the front end, which have been entirely useless. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it isn't useless. Would the front end need it? Maybe it would need the PNGs, etc., etc. Yeah, that makes sense. Let us mount it in the front end as well. Yeah, I can expect the front end to mount it. Of course, the cron jobs will definitely want it. Should I set it read-only? Probably. Because I don't want to edit them. Oh, well, my cron jobs. Well, the awarding ones will want to read only. Not the one that updates, not the cron job that is going to update the rules, obviously. Update the repo, I mean. Okay, so now I need a cron job. I definitely need a cron job here. How frequently should I do that? Well, how frequently am I doing it right now? Right now, it is updating them every 15 minutes. Fair. That's fine. So, did I put the right number of stars? That's a very good question. So it's minutes, hours, no, hours, day in the month. No. That's 5. Okay. That's minutes, there's hours. There's, I suppose, days in the month. I suppose that's month and year. And then there's the other week. That's 5. Okay, that's good. Okay. So that's definitely not the script that I want to run. I want to update the cron job. So well, to be simple. Update checkout basically. So just doing cd and then git pull. I'm just going to do that. Can git pull be given a directory? Mm. Sorry, I think it has something that would let me not do a CD before that. I think. Like it there. I think there's something like this. Hey, stop! Yeah, I'm still there. Run as if Git was started in path instead of the current working. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Okay. So my command is going to be git -c valid badges rules. Well, not valid badges rules, because the repo is going. Oh yeah, no, that's wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. I need a more complex script. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's going to be check out rules repo.sh, right? And that's going to be definitely this, definitely that. I like also to set that x shows which commands are running, and directory is valib Fedbadges. No, not at all, valid badges. And that's where I'm going to check out the repo. I don't think I need anything else. So that's going to be it. So my mount, before I forget, my mount has to be right. The mount has to be one directory up. Deployment config and cron. So valid. So yeah, it's going to be badges, not /rules, because the directory also already contains the /rules, the rules subdirectory, which is what I'm analyzing actually. So I'm mounting it here. Okay, let me get back to what I was doing before. Okay, that's my directory. It should be mounted already, so I should have it. I can do if d. So if there's a git directory, actually if there's not a git directory, then git pull git clone. That's the one. Backend plus main. Right. So if it doesn't have a .gear directory, then clone it into the directory. Now it has a .git. well, cd, or should I say -c directory. So I don't need to do a cd, but that's fine. Okay. That's just it. That's the only thing that I need to do, right? And now I need to add that to my configuration. Could be called checkout rules repo. Right. So I need to add the script to my directory that is mounted. Now I can call it my cron. As always, if you guys have questions, feel free to interrupt me. That's all right. So I'm not calling that. I'm calling bash etc badges. How did I name this thing? Checkout rules repo. Okay, so calling it. Of course, that's wrong. Right. I could have that. Yeah, it would be better. It would be preferable if it was a mount point. If I could have the mount point here so that I can change. Okay, let me just stay with what I have. I'm going to tweak that to the end of time to make things more understandable if I let myself do that. So. Okay. It's getting very dark in here. Let me turn something up. Okay, hopefully that's better. Alright. That's better for me. Yes. So. Okay, so I have this script that's going to make a checkout on updated and update it every 15 minutes. That's good. That exists. I need to add it to my playbook. Like this. There's one more cron now. And it's cron. How did I name it? Cron update rules. Okay. I have it in the cron and it works. Oh, the storage. That's. Huh. What I did. That's good. That's not correct anymore. Because I used a variable for that. So database creation is now. Okay. Okay. So I have this cron job that extracts the rules, put them in the directory, update them. That's good. What I'm left to do is have this periodic task in Fedbadges that is going to check out, well, not check out, but that's going to have a look at this repo every, say, 15 minutes. Look if it's been updated between the last one. And if it was, reload the rules, right? So basically, the task would be very simple. it's going to be, let me store no roles self last rules load, and that's going to be none. Well, none. Well, let's say 0, right? And now I'm updating the rules. When I'm updating the rules, I'm going to store something in the not 0, but none. I think none is better. It's more logical. Load badges from YAML. When I'm done with that, self dot last rules load equal that date time dot time dot now. Do I have the time? Not yet. Equals. Okay. Good. Thing is, I want to have that in UTC, right? Or no, I want to. Yeah, I want to be able to. It's fine. It's fine. I want to have the task, to have a task that's going to look at. Well, that's going to be very simple. I need to have this test. Rules need a date. That's going to return whether the rules need an update or not. And I need the directory. I should have put that in separate. I mean, that's a lot for the consumer. I should put that in a separate file that's going to be a badges repo, right? And it will know how to load the badges, and it would know how to check the time. I'm going to do that afterwards. Actually, I'm going to do that next time, I think. I was just preparing that, but so that's going to be basically a git. What was my command? That's not the one. Yeah, this one. That's going to be the command. Run this. Compare with last rules load. Yeah, that's the plan. And now I want to put that in a separate file because that's already, yeah, I don't like to have a same file that does too many things. So new file, rules repo .py. And I'm going to put there class rules repo init self directory. Yes, I have this. Now for my consumer, there's a lot of stuff in there that I can pop there. So for example, yeah, of course, the log file. You're clever. Not so much. Okay. It's going to be able to walk it. Not load badges from YAML, but load all. And that's not a private method, although it doesn't need directory here. Oh, I can put that here actually. I don't need the directory to be an absolute path. I need the dead time. And of course I need the new thing that I just added. That's the problem of this class. Last load equal none. And I need to have Fedbadges.rules. Yes, we're getting there. I need to have Fedbadges.rules. The target client, really? Do I need that? Where does this come from? Okay, so I can pass that though. Target client. Okay. Self.config, does it need config? I suppose so. I guess I'll have to pass it. That's okay. Then I guess I don't need the directory because I know it from the config. That's useless. The directory that I'm using here is this one. So if I want to have the entire config, then I don't need the directory. Okay. I can walk it. Oh yes, I need to be able to import YAML. That's for sure. And then I can have a periodic test that will just run load all because it's going to be protected against useless reloads. Like it's going to be if self.needs updates, then self load all their account, return self.roles. I guess. And I can have a reload all that does the same thing without the check. Or I can have a parameter here, right? Okay. False or needs updates. Right. And that's going to return, it doesn't return badges, sorry about that. It should set self.badges roles equal badges. There it is. Doesn't return anything. Or should it? Yeah, it should probably. Okay. I think we're pretty safe with this. And this is what I'm going to use in my consumer now. Right, and now I can have this task that will, I can have this task that we just call this periodically. And my consumer is doing way less stuff. It already does a lot, but at least it's not in the same class, right? I mean, it's doing things, but it's not responsible for those things. Okay. Okay, we're getting there, slowly but surely. I won't see that. Okay, it's 5:30 almost, so I'm gonna stop there. I hope this dive into badges brings up interest for badges again, because it's really cool. It's a really cool feature set, I think, and we want that to be available. It's been extremely popular in the Fedora community, and the fact that nobody has worked on the software for a while and has brought it to the point where there is risk of dropping it, and it would be a sad thing. So I'm going to work to bring it back to a shape where it can hop on somehow. But if you guys are interested, I'll be happy to work with any contributor from the Fedora project, and work together and bring it to a shape where we can be happy of this and of its code and of how easy it is to make it evolve into whatever we need in the future. So yeah, so if the thing interests you and you want to work on it, then give me a shout. And in the meantime, I'm going to close it for today. It's been a pleasure to have you here, and I'll see you next week.